Here we are live.
We are live.
Janisha? Janisha, you need to unmute yourself, I think.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Janisha, and thank you for joining us in this edition of Facebook Live ICANN Conversation. I'm sorry. I think there was a little bit of a technical glitch. We're back. Thank you for joining us in this edition of Facebook Live ICANN Conversations. Let me begin this session by telling you a little bit about ICANN. India COVID Action Network, ICANN, is an initiative to help underprivileged communities that have been hardest hit due to the unprecedented COVID-19 lockdown. It is an online platform that connects those who are in need of help and those who can provide it. Our COVID warriors work from home, activating their on-ground networks and mobilizing resources to reach vulnerable sections of the society in these difficult times. Our COVID warriors are spread across the country and are increasing in numbers by the day. As we prepare to exit from the lockdown, there is a need to help certain businesses revive in these changing times. Today's conversation is on a very interesting topic, Jahan Bhi, reopening of restaurants. The restaurant industry, with an annual turnover approximately rupees 4 lakh crores and provides direct employment to 7 million Indians, is in a precarious situation currently. In today's conversation, we will be discussing how restaurants can reopen by adapting to these changing times. Let us move on by introducing our speakers for today. Hargun?
Yeah, I'm delighted to facilitate our guest speakers, Mr. Shashikant Shetty and Mr. Siddharth Tandon. Mr. Shetty is the ex-secretary of Indian Hotel and Restaurant Association, and Mr. Siddharth Tandon is the brand ambassador of Beverages and Food Services India Private Limited. I welcome each one of you to this edition of ICANN Conversations. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Hi. Janisha, want to take this forward? Hello.
Yes. Okay. So, beginning with the impact, beginning with the discussion, how has the impact of the lockdown been on the restaurants and the restaurants industry and the hospitality industry? If Mr. Shashikant, if you would like put a little bit light on that.
Right. So I'm speaking for the association and all the restaurant owners in Mumbai, particularly. Maharashtra also generally, because Mumbai has been devastated. हम लोगों को शुरुआत से ही रेड जोन माना जाता था. यहाँ पर केसेस जो है बहुत बढ़ते गए हैं और हर बार ऐसे ही लगने लगा कि 15 दिन और खत्म हो जाएगा, लेकिन हुआ नहीं है. तो मुंबई में तो हालचाल बहुत ही बुरा है. छोटे से छोटे रेस्टोरेंट से लेकर बड़े से बड़े फाइन डाइन्स जो है एक साथ में ही 23-24 तारीख को हमें बंद करना पड़ा. दैट इज इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च. शुरुआत में क्या था, वी थॉट 7 दिन हो जाएगा, 10 दिन हो जाएगा, शुरू हो जाएगा. But it's been the end of May and there has been no respite. People who were working for us have asked that they be relieved from their jobs, or they have just gone back to their own native places because of the fear of getting contaminated out here. So we are in a position where even if we want to start any business, we don't have the finances for it. There is no labor for it. The entire supply chain management has gone for a toss. तो सप्लायर लोगों से कुछ भी माल वाल लेना है, कुछ भी सामान लेना है, वो तो अभी मुश्किल ही होगा. एंड आगे जाके जो भी नए नए नॉर्म्स आए हैं, जो FSSAI ने बताया है, जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने पब्लिश किया है, और जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से हमें लिख के आया है कि हमें बहुत सारे नॉर्म्स फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, तो उसके लिए सिस्टम जनरेट करने के लिए, सिस्टम बनाने के लिए हमें समय लग जाएगा. तो ऑल इन ऑल वी आर starting fresh. We'll need to have a clean slate, and we'll be absolutely starting as an absolutely brand new industry in a brand new land with brand new customers.
Right. Moving forward, the government yesterday only just announced that all restaurants, malls, and cinemas will reopen on June 8th onwards, June 8, 2020 onwards. Will all restaurants open? One is that question. And second is, what about those who lie in the red zone or the containment zones? If Mr. Siddharth, if you would like to address this.
Yes, Dinisha, I will just take on from where Mr. Shashikant has left.
Yeah.
You know, अगर मैं शशिकांत जी का जो point of view देखूं, and he's very rightly put it कि हमें, you know, we have to start afresh. To a very large extent, you know, when I speak from the point of view of, you know, suppliers or channel partners in terms of associates who help hotels and restaurants in their preparations, you know, we look at it from a point of view that whole supply chain has been disrupted. You know, there are challenges in the whole cycle. हर चीज में एक नया challenge है. You know, जो business आज से you know कुछ months पहले था, around let's say end of March, to what it is now is very different in the way the business works. You know, there are teething problems almost everywhere we talk about. But you know, coming back and taking up from there, as we say that after every dark tunnel, there is a light at the end of the day. So you know, we see this light at the end of the day, starting 8th of June, where we hope a lot of people come back and you know open up. And I personally feel that there is a lot of pent up demand. So you know, we like to classify it into two different elements, if we call it this way. One is we look at the demand side and we look at the supply side. There is obviously a lot of pent up demand. You know, people are willing, they have been sitting and trying and experimenting with their foods and their habits and whatever they would like to eat for almost 2 months. You know, so I'm sure हम सब ने छोले भटूरे और आलू पराठा and rajma chawal and what all. You know, everybody in India has become very active food wise on Facebook and social media. I think we will all like to go back and see how good our restaurant food was, you know, before the lockdown. I think we all missed that. So there is a huge pent up demand, which I see. Second way of looking at it is, you know, challenges that the industry faces in opening up. You know,
Right.
just by saying कि 8 June से खुल जाएगा, you know, purpose will not get solved. क्योंकि you know, we have to look at a lot of elements कि कितना labor जो है वो restaurant के अंदर, this is a very labor intensive sector. You know, so
Right.
laborers and workers and the chefs and the, you know, pantry boys who've been working in the restaurants, they probably, a lot of them have migrated. Second,
Right.
you know, restaurant owners के पास capital crunch है, and there is a gamut of you know, problems that are existing in the market. So even though there is a light that we see, we still need to see how you know, it is taken up and coped up by people.
Right. Right.
So taking it
Uh,
forward,
Yeah, Harvind. Yes, go on.
while the restaurants prepare to exit this lockdown, what are some of the challenges that they may be facing in terms of business flow, like consumer frequency and demands?
So okay, see, you know, there will be disruptions. You know, there is this parameter of the way I look at it. You know, if there were 100 consumers in the market consuming, I think उसमें से 40 to 50% या 60% वो pent up demand वाले consumers होंगे that they will love to come back, और 40% वाले वो you know, वो वाला segment भी होगा जो जाना चाहते हैं पर डरते हैं. You know, even if you look at the
Right.
home delivery trends, in what we have seen in the last 2 months, there has been home deliveries, you know, and there has been a very remarkable trend. If you look at the sector, you know, if you look at the mixed food, the sales that has been happening, it's been more combo meals. It's been more meals which are not fancy in nature. When I say fancy, I mean to say food which are slightly difficult to cook, which is like, your dishes like pasanda or your kormas and things like that. It has been more with the need-based things. It has been rajma chawal, it has been, kathi rolls, it has been, things like that, which are more necessities for the younger generation who are probably tired of cooking or are unable to cook or whatever. So that's the trend that I see. And I think Shashikanji would like to throw a little bit more light on that, coming
Yeah.
from the sector.
Right.
Our main concern right now is to get people to work, because with the small and medium restaurants which I'm speaking for, we are talking about the regular chai की दुकान, sandwich वाले जो उडुपी restaurants है, fine dines नहीं, lunch homes के बारे में बात करें, जहाँ पर आप दोपहर के समय जाके एक थाली खा लेते हैं, या तो जल्द से जल्द आपको एक कीमा पाव या पराठा मिल जाता. तो ऐसे लोगों के पास जितने भी स्टाफ थे, 70 to 75% of the staff has either left, they have gone in the first few weeks, or they have left in these last couple of weeks when the migration was allowed and there has been a ease down. अब होगा क्या कि वहां पर पहुंचने के बाद उनका भी एक क्वारंटीन पीरियड रहेगा, फिर 15 दिन के बाद अगर उनको वापस भी आना है तो मुंबई में भी आके उनको क्वारंटीन करना पड़ेगा. तो इवन इफ आई हैव द विल टू स्टार्ट, अगर मैं कहूंगा कि 8 तारीख को खोलना है, चलना है, करना है, पैसे भी डाल दूं, सामान भी लेके आया, सब कुछ लेके आऊंगा, लेकिन लोगों की कमी होने वाली है. यहाँ पर हमारे जो स्किल स्टाफ या सेमी स्किल स्टाफ है वो हमारे पास होंगे नहीं, तो ऑप्शंस हमारे पास बहुत लिमिटेड है. 8 तारीख को अगर हम लोग प्रिपेयर करेंगे तो हमें और फिर भी एक 10-15 दिन लग जाएगा come to a proper semblance of delivery or preparation of food. As of now, like Siddharth said, we are seeing a lot of home deliveries coming about. A lot of restaurants have realized that we can do deliveries, we can send food across. और जैसे आपने कहा कि एक कॉम्बो मील्स है, या तो एक पार्टी पैक समझ लो कि 2-3 लोगों को खाना खाना है, तो उसके लिए एक स्मॉल पोर्शन का मील जो बनने लगा है, it is proved to be quite popular. Now, again, there is a lot of consumer fear about ordering food from outside. Time and again, we have told people, the government has said, the WHO has put out an advisory saying that COVID cannot be transmitted on food. And most of the restaurants are taking very strict hygiene precautions to make sure that the handler, the food preparation people, they are all sanitized and they are following the norms as far as possible. तो लोगों में जब तक ये जो भ्रम रहेगा, जो एक डर रहेगा, ना जाता नहीं है, तब तक होम डिलीवरीज एंड टेक अवेज एंड उसके बाद फाइनली डाइन इन खुलना थोड़ा स्लो पड़ेगा, थोड़ा मुश्किल पड़ेगा.
Right. So when you talk,
Jinisha, just going to add on to something that Shashikanji has
right,
said.
right.
Another trend that we see vis-a-vis beverages. मैं जितने भी अपने colleagues के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ, industry players के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ, they see a marked dip in beverage sales. Beverage sales ले लो या कोई भी cold related ले लो. There have been news floating around that a lot of cold based companies, ice creams, and a lot of players who are in the segment who are big hits in the summer season are taking a very, very big hit on the business, because people are not willing to consume beverages. That is what people say.
Right.
Plus, and they're most likely to say कि हम ठंडा नहीं लेना चाहते.
Right.
I was talking to a friend of mine, who runs a restaurant, and they were offering some beverages, shikanji and mojito and things like that. So, he started receiving calls from consumers and saying, "Yeah, beverages बेच क्यों रहे हो?"
Right.
So I was taken aback by this, because I think people are still consuming water, which is a beverage. People are still consuming tea and coffee, which again is a beverage. I think Coke, Pepsi, and all the soft drink fruity makers are still doing a fairly good business. So I think why a step brotherly treatment with things that are prepared in the restaurant, be it lassi or be it mocktails, or for that matter of fact cocktails. So I feel really sorry about this, but I think I've done a lot of study or things online. ठंडा खाने से कोरोना नहीं होता, man. So, this is my humble request to people. Go out there and you can still order those things. Don't let your thing. We can all drink kadas and we can all drink hot things. But let's not let our fears take over our enjoyment, because I think life is all about celebrating and being happy.
Right. Yes. So moving on, when we talk about restaurants opening at say 30% capacity or 50% capacity, of course there will be certain what do you call it, optimization of costs in certain places. So regarding your fixed costs is something that you cannot optimize. Then there'll be add-on costs, which is sanitation material, keeping everything hygienic, masks, gloves, etc for the employees, even if it's required for customers, so something like that. What do you think should be done to optimize costs? One is in terms of operations, and second is in terms of uh, you know things that you can add on. Like for the add-on costs, how do you optimize uh, you know the costs?
So
Mr.
see,
Shashikant.
this is going to be a big challenge. This is going to be no man's land. Nobody has stepped into this field as of now. तो आप जब कह रहे हो कि systems change करना पड़ेगा,
Right.
as an association, AHAR has put forward quite a few proposals where there will be contactless interaction with the customer. We are trying to set up systems where have a good clean place where a customer can sit down, have a meal. But at the end of the day, आप जब कोई भी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो किसी दोस्त के साथ, आप उसके साथ बात करने के लिए या तो उसके साथ टाइम बिताने के लिए आप जाते हो. So having a kind of a closed system where everyone is sitting with his own PPE mask or his box or his cage, that's going to kill the entire your feeling of going out. Then the entire experience is going to be spoiled. Having said that, we have set up programs in association with the FSSAI and two of our training companies. We are in the process of training the owners, the top level management and supervisors, as well as we are sensitizing the staff as to why we are doing certain things. Because आज के माहौल में staff को अभी तक दिमाग में आता नहीं, अरे वो देखो यार हर बार हाथ धो रहा है, भाई इसकी जरूरत है क्यों? क्योंकि इससे ही ट्रांसमिशन होता है. तो जब तक जो लोएस्ट कॉमन स्टाफ जो है उसको दिमाग में ये बात जाती नहीं है कि the more care he takes, the more sanitation the restaurant takes care of, the better are the chances of people coming back and not falling ill. Now, the cost for all these things is a question mark. It will have to be borne by the owner right now. But down the line, it won't be possible for any organization to run at 50% capacity at 100% cost, plus another 20-25% added cost for taking care of these compliances. So some way or the other, we are hoping that the government comes up with some basic norms or some kind of a relief, and that they need to help us in this time, because to start off this thing, we're talking about a huge industry which contributes 8.8 to 10% of India's turnover in terms of GDP. To start off this industry, get 10 to 15 lakhs of people back into the jobs. It's not going to be easy for one person, two people, or for an organization to do. It's got to be the government pushing and pulling along with us. Then only we can make some things happen. So cost ka to hai. I wouldn't like to pay, but then right now the situation is such that पैसे तो देने पड़ेंगे, सब सिस्टम डालना पड़ेगा. फिर आगे जाके देखेंगे. It might, if it becomes a norm, it's great.
I think, Jinisha, just adding on to what Mr. Shashikant said, there are companies like ours, which is Food Service India, and we provide a lot of products which actually help on to bring standardization and reduce the cost and the efficient use of staffs and chefs and all the other people in the industry. So I think a lot of companies might have to step up in further designing products that facilitate ease of operations. Just to give you an example, we do a lot of pre-mixed things like restaurant के अंदर जब हम काम करते हैं, so there are a lot of pre-preparatory steps which are required before you cook on the final meal. So be it preparing the what do you call the marinades, to preparing up the food, to cooking up basic sauces and additives. Again, beverages के अंदर अगर हम बात करें तो there are a lot of flavors. जैसे नींबू काटना है शिकंजी के लिए या मोहितो के लिए मिंट काटना है, small little things that actually go unnoticed, but mise à plat जिसे हम कहते हैं फ्रेंच में, that takes us at least a good amount of 30% of time and a lot of labor cost or a lot of manpower involved in it. So companies like us come into picture where we kind of provide solutions which are not only standardized, they also help you reduce cost, and they pass on a lot of convenience, and you are able to do things faster. So I think a lot of innovation and a lot of things like this will happen, wherein companies who are in the business will step in and try and help owners, because I think मुझे लगता है ये एक collaborative effort है. We are all in this together. अगर restaurant business नहीं होगा, तो I think companies like ours will not be able to survive. And अगर consumer नहीं होगा, तो restaurant वैसे नहीं चलेगा. So I think it is a whole cycle or a vicious circle in a very positive way, which needs to be driven. And I think government I'm sure they're trying and looking at various options to make this and facilitate this better.
And sir, if we talk about local versus global, then how do you think the food and beverage trends will change? I mean, will there be a reduction or complete shutdown of exotic foods like seafood, prawns, and imported food? And will continental food still be preferred to Indian comfort foods?
If I can just answer that, Argun, I think Indian public has got a very varied taste. हमारे यहाँ पर तो पास्ता भी बनता है तो उसमें लोकल फ्लेवर के साथ बन जाता है, कोई मिर्च डालेगा, कोई पुदीना डाल के बनाता है, and we have kind of conquered a lot of global cuisine and brought them to our palate. As it comes to sourcing the raw materials, मेरे ख्याल से आज तो आप कोई भी सिटी में जाओगे, एक कैटेगरी का छोड़ दो, बी या सी में भी आप जाओगे तो वहां पर आपको ब्रोकली हो या जो इंग्लिश वेजिटेबल्स बोलते हैं, या तो थाइम बोलो, कोई भी मसाला चाहिए आपको, सब कुछ रेडीली अवेलेबल मिल जाता है. जो लोकल फार्मर्स है वो लोग तो बनाते ही हैं. रही बात सी फूड की, अभी तक तो क्योंकि लोग बाहर नहीं जा पा रहे, तो सी फूड और ये जो कैचेस जो है, जो प्रॉन्स है और सी फूड जो अच्छे क्वालिटी का है, अभी तक हाथ में नहीं आ रहे हैं. एंड जब तक लोगों का ये जो डर रहेगा कि नॉनवेज खाने से कुछ तकलीफ हो रही है या ठंडा पीने से कुछ होने वाला है, या तो पास्ता में बहुत सारा दूध डालते हैं उससे मुझे सर्दी होगी या तो गला बैठेगा, थोड़ा बहुत ये जो कहते हैं ना, साइकी थोड़ा सा चेंज हो जाएगा तो ही चेंज हमें बदलाव दिखाई देगा. और रही बात ये जो लोकल एंड इंटरनेशनल लोकल का बात कर रहे हैं, तो most of the brands are operating in India for such a long time that everyone has shoehorned their products to suit the Indian palate. The greatest of the chains that you can think of, they've come up with a certain product and then they realized, boss, इसमें और ये तो तड़का वाला चटपटा होना चाहिए, तो उन लोगों ने made a चटपटा burger for us. So in that terms, yeah, Indian palate will not change. Only thing, I think, the habit of just picking up the phone and ordering for food or just stepping into a restaurant, that habit will take some time to again be built in. It'll be, should not be any hesitation in stepping out. तो वो करने के लिए थोड़ा समय लग जाएगा. बाकी तो फूड में जो सर्वाइव करेगा और जो रेस्टोरेंट खोल पाएगा और कर पाएगा, they'll be king.
I think this debate of local versus global will only fan up a little bit more. And I think the whole prospect of promoting local is because आज की डेट में अगर हम बहुत सारे genre को उठा के देखें, be it clothes, be it food articles, be it anything, I think global companies, Indian companies are sourcing and supplying to a lot of global companies. We as a company help and are channel partners with a lot of international brands in terms of giving them food and beverage products. Also another thing that I get from personal experiences, I've worked across the world, बहुत सारी countries में काम करा है, बहुत सारे लोगों के साथ, बहुत सारे cultures में काम किया है. And I think when I come back to Indian point of view or Indian perspective, तो Indian लोग as हमारी सारी country से cultures अलग हैं, thought processes अलग हैं. I think Indians जो है वो बहुत meticulous हैं कुछ भी जो करते हैं उसमें. So whatever Indian products are there, I think they are very potent. There are companies like us who've been in the business for a very, very long time, and I think we have a undisputable reputation in the market for quality ingredients. If I talk about our syrups, Marimbula, they have been designed 100% locally and indigenously. And when you compare the flavors and the quality of that product versus a lot of products जो international markets के भी हैं, जो competitors के भी हैं. I think we stand, we take great pride in that, and I think we are very strong about our quality. And it's not what I say, and not because I represent the brand Marimbula. It is also got to do with what people feel about us. There are a lot of companies that have got away from using the international products, a lot of imported brands, and they have stuck to us, and they have kind of helped us to take the company forward. We are very proud कि हमारी टीम में जितने भी bartenders हैं, जो भी team members हैं, they might have a lot of international exposure, but they are 100% indigenous team. We are 100% proud to be an Indian company and Indian team. So मुझे नहीं लगता कि even if the global versus local thing catches up, I think I still, when I go to the market, लोग कहते हैं कि imported is better. I think it's been more drilled into a psychology pre-independence time से कि imported better होता है. I have got nothing against imported or for local, but I think the whole narrative is the world has advanced, and we have so much knowledge available, so much talent available in India. I think हम इंडिया में हर वो चीज पॉसिबली बना सकते हैं और कर सकते हैं जो इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड की इक्विवेलेंट हो सकती है, and maybe far better than that as well. So even I don't think so a lot of massive food change will happen, but I think हम ये भी देख रहे हैं कि जो लोग हैं वो इंडियन चीजों में ज्यादा हैप्पी हैं, and they're experimenting. Biryani is a big example. The amount of biryani, we look at कि इंडिया में इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग बिरयानी कल्चर हो गया, और वो कल्चर सिर्फ दिल्ली, बॉम्बे या बैंगलोर का नहीं है. Look at Bengal also. You look at any of the tier 2 cities in the Madhya Pradesh and things like that. The culture is spread across, and people are very proud of being Indians right now. So I think this is a great leap that our country and nation has taken forward, and I think we are very happy about this as a country.
सर, जैसा आपने बताया लोकल फूड की बात की, तो अगर हम स्ट्रीट फूड की बात करें, स्पेशली मुंबई जैसे शहरों में स्ट्रीट फूड इतना पॉपुलर है. वड़ा पाव, पाव भाजी, सैंडविचेस, ये हर गली नुक्कड़ कोने में मिलता है. लेकिन अब लोग जो हैं बाहर का खाना अवॉइड कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उन्हें हाइजीन का बहुत ध्यान रहता है. तो इन स्ट्रीट फूड पे क्या असर पड़ेगा इसका?
I think all four of us have experienced Mumbai in its charm. तो यहाँ पर आप सब लोग काम भी कर चुके हैं, यहाँ पर पढ़ाई भी कर चुके हैं, तो दैट क्विंटेसेंशियल वो वड़ा पाव का जो स्वाद है किसी के मुंह से जाने वाला है नहीं, और अभी बैठे बैठे याद आती है. बस तकलीफ इस बात की है कि रिस्क कहाँ तक लेंगे. अब द पावर्स दैट बी FSSAI ने, गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत कोशिश किया है कि एक सैनिटरी लेवल लेके आने के लिए, इनको थोड़ा सुधार करने के लिए. बट आप स्ट्रीट फूड खाने के लिए जाओगे तो वहाँ का सोर्स ऑफ पानी जो है, कहाँ से पानी आने वाला है, कहाँ पर उन्होंने स्टोरेज करके रखा हुआ है, उन लोग फूड उस लेवल तक कुक करने वाले हैं कि नहीं, उसको सेफली वो लोग स्टोर करने वाले हैं कि नहीं. इट्स अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क. I am also dying. I would love to go out there and have the Mumbai sandwich and the bhel puri and whatnot, but I think it is better to be a bit more prudent, because the level of sanitation which needs to be built up in our food vendors is not there, and it doesn't seem to be coming back into them also. तो जब तक वो लोग ध्यान नहीं रहेंगे, I will not recommend having street food in its openness and right now. Only if they take proper care, there is proper control over it, and थोड़ा उन लोग ध्यान लगा के बोलेंगे कि भैया मेरे कारण किसी और को तकलीफ ना हो, तब तक I would not in any way push for street food or having any roadside food in this coming few months.
Also, it's possible that most of them must have returned to their hometowns, being the earning being a daily earning for them. Most of them may have also returned, and it's possible that in the next coming months, people might not even come back as fast as we expect them to come back and start working on these things. So another question that I have for Mr. Siddharth is that now since we're going to take out and delivery services, and that's going to be the new trend, right? How does that get us with your fine dining with your 10 courses and 7 courses meals, where do these people, like how do they optimize their food and their cooking, and how do they adapt to this delivery system, or will they adapt to this delivery system, or will they be inviting guests to come in and dine in, or dine out, I mean. So how is that going to be affected?
Janisha, this is a very a long topic to talk about it. I've been a part of a lot of seminars and a lot of think pad sessions where everybody within the chain is trying to dwell upon it and trying to come up with his best possible solution. You talk to 5-star hotels, to a restaurant wala guy, everybody is coming up with his own solution. I'd like to share a very interesting piece of news with you. I was going through a newspaper that talked about a hotel in Vienna. It was a 152-seater all-suite hotel. They have now made their rooms available for dining in. So you basically can book a room, and you can hire it for 3 hours for a personal 3 or 4 people. So I think 3 to 4 people are allowed, and you can book a whole suite room with a private butler service. So that is Vienna's way of answering this question. I think there is a lot of innovation which is happening at various outlets in terms of packaged food. I think restaurants will come up with fixed menus, like the trend of buffets might eventually they will have to let go of it for the limited time at least, because of the challenges it poses. A lot of set menus will come into picture. Coming back to the home delivery option, I think people when they dine with all three senses. So visual appeal, the experience, the whole feeling around it has to be a wow factor. The home dining may not give you that aesthetic sense. So if you're looking at the whole wow factor in terms of ambience of the restaurant or the pub, the kind of music they play, the lights, and the whole sensory experience might still not be there for home delivery. But if we talk about satiating the diets or the food or the drinks, there are companies like us. We are working on something known as DIY kits, which is do it yourself. We are tying up with a lot of different beverage companies and liquor companies. They are looking at creating special meal kits, or the special options, so that you can basically bring all your alcohol in the house, and through videos and QR codes you can actually make some basic cocktails in your house. So we are trying our best to help consumers not miss their favorite things. But I think एक human nature है, आप जितना ह्यूमन बीइंग को कन्फाइन करोगे वो उतना बाहर जाना चाहता है. So I think India as a country has taken this very maturely. I think people have behaved really nice. Majority have stayed to their home and they've respected the government guidelines. I think we need to give credit to the whole system. And we as creators and innovators are trying to take the solutions to consumers house, जहाँ पे उनको उनके जो guilty pleasures हैं वो die down ना हो. So creating a cosmopolitan with our triple sec from Marimbula, to creating your sodas, and to creating your bantas and cumin and all those kind of things. We have a lot of different flavors and we are coming up with special packaging जो आप use कर सकते हो, and you can actually make a good cocktail at your house. I am not saying it will be restaurant quality, but it will still help you, because restaurant के अंदर there are bartenders who are specially trained to do these cocktails. There are special equipments, glassware, बहुत सारी चीजें. There is a lot of investment that people put in the restaurants to give that wow experience. I'm not saying that that wow experience can be replicated, but yes, we'll try and replicate the taste in whatever sense we can, so that you don't miss your favorite things during this lockdown. And yes, I think going forward things will return to normalcy as in when things get over.
And so moving forward,
Another question that popped into my head just while you were talking is that so you're saying that the sale of beverages will slightly reduce when things start, the restaurants, bars and pubs start functioning. there are a few people who get have that habit of going out and having a drink and chatting with their friends or something. uh, what about social distancing in bars, pubs, and such places where drinks are served, where people after a few drinks they get pally, and how do you maintain that social distance between people over there? So again, I know this is something that you go out with your friends, etc., etc. But we still need to maintain the norms and have that social distancing. How is that something that how will that be monitored?
I like to answer it in two phases. One is a practical phrase. Um, People have to be prudent, is what I would like to say. Second thing, I think government also kind of recognizes this, and they are so the government is now trying to say, ki, we are opening, essential services like restaurants and bars, which are linked to livelihood. But I think pubs are still under restriction to open up. One, because I think people become very happy and excited when they consume their favorite, cocktails and drinks. I think the second way of looking at it is, as I said, it's a whole sensory experience. Uh, there is still a lot of fear in the market. There is still a lot of apprehension about the numbers of the disease infected only going up. So I think there is one way of looking at it is, home consumption. That is any which way is happening, and I think we've all seen what happened when the liquor stores open up. There were news spread across 3-4 days. So in people really love consuming their spirits and wines and cocktails, what I want to call it. But I think अगर हम इसको बड़े creative और nicer way में देखें, I think this is what our human touch is. अगर मैं बात करूं कि pubs खोलेंगे, कब खोलेंगे, कैसा होगा, I think we still need to kind of go ahead and see how things change up. But I think कहीं ना कहीं लोगों के दिमाग में या psychology में कुछ challenges हैं. I think the bigger groups might still be restrained. There might be more cozy conversations. There might be a good change in the drinking pattern. So, अगर मैं hotels, restaurant या pub bars की बात करूं, they will have to focus on the speciality. They have to innovate a lot of drinks. They have to look at going beyond. To give you an example, we all know a cocktail called pina colada. They have to look at something which is more innovative, like a mango colada or like a coffee colada. Something that technically it's very difficult to replicate in the house. So the level of preparedness and the level of action has to go up. I think consecutively the premium things will start getting consumed a lot more. So there will be reduced consumption in terms of how much I consume, which is 2 drinks or 3 drinks. But there will be an increase in premiumization to a certain extent because people will go there for an experience and not to get drunk.
Right.
So there will be a little bit of change in consumption pattern, and I think as the disease goes down, as things start becoming normal, I think things will get back to their normalization. But I'm sure this pandemic that has happened will bring some changes in the life and the way we think, the way we behave and think.
Right. Also, moving on, if we talk about local eateries, small cafes, small restaurants, Mr. Shashikant, if you would like to put some light on how will they be able to cope with all these changing norms and all these, how will they be able to adapt to the new rules and regulations and all of these mandatory actions that they might have to take?
To break it down in Mumbai and Maharashtra specifically, most of the outlets are owned and they're operated by by a single person. It's either rented or it could be on ownership basis. So more than 65% of these small outlets, we're talking about, like I said, the tea shops, the would-be restaurants, the small lunch homes, the sandwich houses. These people are going to find it very, very, very difficult to restart. Albeit they're smaller, but most of the places don't have cash reserves to last them for more than 27 or 28 days. So beyond that, where is he going to get the money from? Now we have issues where the staff has to be taken care of. Now, other than accommodation, food, and shelter, which we can provide at our cost, beyond that, every small guy is struggling to meet up with the salary requirements. And that's where we look out to the government. We have made representations. We have tried to explain to them that these fixed costs are not going away. The electricity charges, which is put on to us by the electricity companies, उसमें तो कुछ कमी हो नहीं रही है. अभी हाल ही में उन लोगों ने नोटिफिकेशन दे दिया कि फिक्स चार्जेस वो लोग कम कर देंगे. बट उसके अलावा आप लेबर कॉस्ट का देख लीजिएगा. उनका जो ESIC है, EPF है, उन लोगों को प्रोफेशन टैक्स जो देना है वो हम अभी भी जेब से जा रहा है. वी आर आस्किंग कि शुरुआत होने तक, जब तक ये इंडस्ट्री को सही एक जगह मिलता नहीं है, जब तक कम से कम एक 50% बिजनेस डेवलप नहीं होता, तब तक के लिए आप हमें कुछ ना कुछ सहायता दे दीजिएगा. वेदर इट इज सॉफ्ट लोन्स, हम लोग कह रहे हैं कि भैया आप उसका इंटरेस्ट ले लीजिए, लेकिन थोड़ी देर के बाद ले लीजिए ना. आज आप लोन दोगे और अगले महीने में आप इंटरेस्ट मांगोगे तो कैसे चलेगा? आपके पास ESIC, EPF में आपके पास कॉर्पस पड़ा है, आप उसमें से कुछ दे दीजिएगा. कम से कम हमारे स्टाफ को अगले 2-3 महीने के लिए जो पगार देना है, जो सैलरी देना है, उसमें से निकल जाएगा. आप कुछ ना कुछ सॉफ्टली हमें हेल्प तो कर लीजिएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर तो अभी लाइसेंसेस भी जारी है. हम लोगों ने जो लाइसेंस दे दिया है उसका तो पैसा हम लोग वापस नहीं मांग रहे. ये तो कह रहे हैं कि भैया थोड़ा सा उसको आगे बढ़ा दीजिए, push it ahead. Now I've made these representations to the government because that is the only body which can help us out. Right now, asking for any kind of assistance from any other body or any other association or people is going to be of no use. It's only the government which can take a proactive step, because we are the largest employment generation sector in the country. हमारे पास जो लोग काम पे आते हैं, हमारे पास जो कस्टमर्स आते हैं, उनके कारण कम से कम 7 गुना ज्यादा बिजनेस हम लोग चर्न कर सकते हैं. जो हमारे रेस्टोरेंट्स के तक आने के लिए जो रिक्शा, टैक्सी, बस में आता है, वहां पर रेवेन्यू हो जाता है. जो खाते पीते हैं, GST भर दिया, वैट भर दिया, गवर्नमेंट को इनकम मिल गया है. एंड देयर आर सो मेनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड सो मेनी स्मॉल वेंडर्स हु आर tied down to us, very small local specialty food vendors, whether it is the people giving pav or bread or chapati, या दूध वाला, अंडे वाला. So all these exist in that small environment. If you don't make this industry stand, and if you don't give it support in the next few months, and if you don't allow them to grow and thrive, then these ancillary industries will not be able to take off. आजकल घर पे कौन 12 डजन अंडे मंगा के रख देगा, स्टोर करके रख देगा? वो तो सिर्फ रेस्टोरेंट वाले हैं जो एक साथ में 100-150 अंडे रखते हैं और उसमें जो खाना बना देते हैं. तो जब तक आप इस इंडस्ट्री को आप सहायता नहीं दोगे, and you will see that change happening once the hospitality starts, अपने आप लोगों का मोरल बढ़ जाता है. ऐसा लगता है कि भैया चाय तो मिल गया, चाय और सैंडविच और एक डोसा खाने को मिल गया, अच्छा लगता है, चलो काम पे लग जाते हैं. So in the interest of the local citizens and the population's well-being, I think that the government should be helping, coming out very proactively with some ways and means to help us stand our grounds and grow these things. Otherwise, छोटा आदमी तो नहीं कर पाएगा. छोटे रेस्टोरेंट्स जो है बंद करेंगे, and that will have a cascading effect in the entire economy. Rentals will stop, employment will stop. So unless and until we restaurateurs get a big hand, to help us go forward, it is not going to help the economy on its whole.
Right.
I think just adding on to what Mr. Shashikant has said, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So if an individual gets up in the morning and he's not able to find his chai wala or bread wala, or he's not able to start off his day happily with his mind, I think अगर हम lockdown की भी बात करें, if you look at these small little elements, they play a very big role in our day-to-day life. So I completely agree with him. I think there is a lot of support and help that is required within the segment to make it stand and to make running. And I think इस effect का इस industry का effect is multifarious, as he said, into 7x. So it actually affects and feeds off lots and lots of different segments, and not only about the vada pav and the ande wala, the back end chain in terms of distributors, wholesalers, sales people, who work with different companies, different organizations, packaging material, folk, plates, detergents, everything is linked to it, because it is an industry that is a basic industry which takes care of your hunger, which takes care of your food. which takes care of your human necessity to survive. And I think this is a very, very important industry, and there is a special, case for in itself for argument that I think the government and the people need to look into.
So, what is the way forward for this industry, and how do you think it will get back on its feet?
हरगुन अगर सच्चाई बता दें तो अगले 6-7 महीने के लिए वी डोंट सी मच ऑफ ट्रैक्शन बिकॉज अंटिल द जो लोग हमारे जो कर्मचारी जब तक वापस नहीं आते हैं, जब तक थोड़ा बहुत स्टेबिलिटी आता नहीं है, तब तक लोग बाहर नहीं आते हैं, तो हम लोग ये नहीं कह सकते कि रेस्टोरेंट इंडस्ट्री रिवाइव हो गया, अभी इट्स गोइंग टू बी बैक टू द गुड ओल्ड डेज। तो ये तो पकड़ लीजिएगा कि हमें ही रास्ता ढूंढ के हमें ही किसी जगह पर पहुंचने के लिए कुछ महीने लग जाएंगे, 5-6 महीने लग जाएंगे। With the hit that this has given us, if you actually see, this is the season for us, as we call it, from the month of May, from the month of March, after school exams till the month of June until the school starts. तो ये थोड़ा पीक सीजन हुआ करता था कि लोग थोड़ा ज्यादा घूमने लगते हैं, खाते हैं, पीते हैं, मजा करते हैं और ऐश करते हैं। अब ये तो सीजन चला गया, बारिश में तो कुछ होने वाला है नहीं। अगर कुछ हुआ अक्टूबर नवंबर तक, अगर कुछ सैनिटी एंड सम सेंस ऑफ ऑर्डर कम्स बैक इनटू द सिस्टम, देन वी कैन लुक कि शायद दिसंबर जनवरी में अगर कुछ करना मिले तो करना मिले। But in all practical senses, I don't see people really going out and splurging and doing anything for the in December, January also. My most optimistic forecast would be at least 12 months for us to successfully tide this on the way and find our bearings, find some new path. सब systems को stabilize करके, नए systems को incorporate करके, आप तो ये समझ लीजिएगा कि 12 महीने के लिए I don't see many of us doing any kind of positive business, because we run on wafer thin margins. Turnover looks big, but at the end, after you take away the taxes and all the outgoings, we are left at around 8 to 15%, which is very, very bare for an industry this size. It is on the edge. So I don't know what to say beyond this. It's very practical and it is very real, probably very hard to hear for the normal citizens,
And so, what role will aggregator businesses like Swiggy and Zomato play in this situation? Delivery apps like Swiggy and Zomato.
It's twofold, while aggregators are doing their own business, they're getting their funds from investor-driven companies, and they really don't look at the books, they don't look at the sales, they don't look at what is the impact. Okay, the consumer feels that he's getting a good deal in getting a discounted product. But what the aggregator does in fact is pressurize the restaurant owner. There is a hell of a lot of pressure to keep giving discount for whatever purposes and reasons and time. But there is nothing like, for example, like Siddharth will say, in the summer season, if you give a discount on your chas or lassi or cold drinks or products which will move faster, you can have a bigger turnover. It makes sense that you give a 10% discount and that sale goes up and you are making more in bulk. So sensible काम है. But इन लोगों का कैसा है कि आए दिन गए दिन बहुत प्रेशर रहता है on a vendor कि आप 10% डिस्काउंट कर दो, 20% डिस्काउंट कर दो, आप हमारा सिनेरियो में जो आपको ऑनलाइन मार्केटिंग करना है, आप बैनर ले लो, एड ले लो, ये करो वो करो, और ये सब करने के बाद कस्टमर डेटा वो लोग शेयर नहीं करेंगे, ये नहीं बताएंगे कि किसने क्या चीज लिया, क्यों लिया, कभी लिया. That data is supposed to be sacrosanct. It's supposed to be shared by me. It's my customer. The reason why somebody is ordering food from me is because they like my product, not because they like your delivery or your bags or a delivery boys coming to you. The fact that he is calling from my outlet means that he's my customer. So you need to share data. That doesn't seem to be happening. And at one point they want to declare themselves as people who are helping us in the industry, and the other place they are setting up their own businesses. They have their own outlets. They're selling the same food which is made by the restaurants. So it is not a good place for us to be in with the commissions they charge, which also varies and which is not very clear. There's always a fight going on trying to understand what are these extra charges and where are they coming from and why weren't you told about this. there is, at the end of the day, the person who was speaking to you will not last for more than 2 months or 3 months. You start the whole step again. But there is a lot of animosity towards aggregators. They might be required, but with the way they are going about, it is not a very healthy relationship which they share with the restaurants. And I don't think that we in any the restaurant owners in have much of sympathy or any liking towards aggregators. If they come up with something which is transparent and open, yes, we wouldn't mind doing business. With the way it is going, I don't know how it is, how they are going to survive also in this industry.
Mr. Siddharth, if you would like to add a little bit on this.
See, Shashikanji is the one who's kind of bearing the brunt. But I think all I would like to say is a consumer needs to be a little bit smarter. You have to kind of weigh all your options available. Like to give you an example, I have my favorite restaurant, jahan se, I used to get a certain amount of food. I was a very regular with that restaurant. And my usual modus operandi was to, call him up because I knew the owner, call him up and, pick up the food while going back to my house. When the Swiggy and Zomato came in, there were chances where I was traveling outside the city and, my family wanted to order food. So for them, Swiggy and Zomato or, any of the aggregators for that matter of fact, was a possible option. When we looked at, what came out vis-a-vis what would generally come out when I will go and pick up, I would say there was some kind of difference. Now a consumer has to be smart in terms of knowing what he's picking up and at the prices he's picking up. And I think I fully sympathize and fully can understand the situation of the restaurant owners as far as these aggregators are concerned. I think it is all about demand and supply. Right now we are moving into a completely new ecosystem in terms of the way India was eating and the way things were being done. I am sure there are a lot of customer feedbacks. There are a lot of internal things that these aggregators are also facing, and I'm sure grievances like this would be very common in their boardrooms. Presuming they will be working on it, the consumer is becoming smarter and smarter, and there is a lot of action that is happening across India, and India is changing. So I'm sure things will change. We've all been through this pandemic, and I'm sure a lot of things have changed within us as individuals when we look at ourselves 2 months down the line. I'm sure things are changing, and issues like what Mr. Shashikant has brought in are being looked after. I think that is what my take on it is.
I just like to add, as an industry or as a business person, people welcome change. आज की तारीख में सबको पता है कि कुछ ना कुछ नया होते जा रहा है. चलो ठीक है, कोई आ रहा है, कोई मदद कर रहा है, कोई डिलीवरी का पूरा बोझा उठा रहा है, ठीक है, कर ले भैया, कोई तकलीफ नहीं है उसमें. बट होता क्या है कि आप चीज एक बोलते हो और करते कुछ और हो. आप मेरे कस्टमर्स को लेके जाते हो, और तकलीफ इस बात की है कि जो आप चार्जेस लगाते हो, the commissions have gone up to almost 30-35%. So that is as close as food cost is. So are you saying that the cost of delivering food is the same as manufacturing the food? So why isn't that data being shared with a consumer who's ordering? Let him realize that where that money is going off to. Why don't you tell him that this is the delivery charge? Why don't you pay for it? That's the time things will open up. Because right now the restaurants, they get a lot of angry calls from the customers saying that ये क्या कर दिया, आपका प्राइस इतना महंगा क्यों है. भैया इसमें हम लोगों को डिलीवरी कॉस्ट भी बिल्ड अप करना पड़ता है, इन लोगों का कमीशन भी बिल्ड अप करना पड़ता है. तो होता क्या है कि कस्टमर होल्ड्स द रेस्टोरेंटर एज अ विलन, whereas the middleman is sitting there and making his small commission and walking away, and people don't realize how bad it is. But let's see if this is not a if the situation changes and there are more players who come in, which we are looking at, bigger brands also looking into this. If there's a level playing field, then the demand and supply graph is going to moderate out and come to a level where it is acceptable to all the three parties. As of now, if the big brands, if Amazon is planning on coming in, the other aggregators are planning on coming in, if that happens, let's see how the situation changes for the restaurant owners.
So, Mr. Siddharth, if there are any last remarks that you would like to make, anything that you would like to address?
Janisha, I think to sum up the discussion in a certain way, I think this pandemic has taught us a lot about ourselves, our consuming habits, and the way we look at things. I think we've all probably understood our guilty pleasures, our necessities, and I think a fine balance exists between what we crave for and what we really want. I think the industry holds a lot of future going forward. With every challenge, there lies an opportunity, and there lies a growth. So mother is, as we all said, need is mother of all inventions. And I think in today's environment, when we look at restaurants, when we look at companies like ours who are into food and beverages, I think we're all innovative. We are all trying our hard to survive these times. I think the crises are everywhere, challenges are everywhere, but I think everybody should look at this in a positive sense in terms of opportunity. And as I keep saying, everyone, tea is also a beverage. So don't cut down, your likings for the cold beverages. Ice will not get you any disease. It will only help you feel better. So keep drinking and keep enjoying. These are tough times, and I'm sure this will pass through. This too shall pass. And I'm all looking forward to our normal lives back over again, no matter how much time it takes. But I'm sure we'll bounce back and we'll be stronger than ever before. So that's, I think, pretty much from my side.
Mr. Shashikant, if you would like to add any last remarks.
I have a lot to say. I have, a whole list of demands. I want things to come back to as normalcy, but that's asking for too much. Now, we are there with the government. We understand the reason why there is social distancing and why, for hygiene reasons, all these things have been done. Okay, what we are saying is that help us to stand up. When we have complied with everything, we have come down with you. What we are opening up is a dialogue. We are saying is that give us a platform. हमारे लोग तो चले गए हैं, अपने अपने घर गए हैं, अभी उनके पास वहाँ पर कोई साधन नहीं है, उनके पास कोई पैसों का कोई ठिकाना नहीं है, अभी उनको वापस आना है, तो just like you started the trains for them to go, make some mechanism for them to come back and start working. Otherwise, industries are not going to start taking off from here. We have healthcare facilities. Okay, we need to gear them in such a way that our staff is not affected. If they are affected, there needs to be healthcare facilities provided in the ESIC hospitals or clinics, or the government, state government or the BMC should be able to provide these facilities, because as an industry, we just can't overnight set up a hospital. Okay, we are looking at working capital to start and stabilize our business. We are not asking for a handout. We're not asking for charity. What we are asking is something which we have contributed to the GDP of this great country. If we have done this thing for the past so many years, the least bit what we can respectfully ask for is that please give us a working capital and we will try to work this off. We are asking for a waiver, or in some places to stop the process of direct and indirect taxes, so that we can let us build it up slowly. Thoda sa business aa jaave to hum log kam dekhenge. And last but not the least, we are hoping that the citizens of India and Maharashtra come to our restaurants and the outlets once we are opened up, because we will promise to do our utmost to give you a safe, hygienic and a clean environment to come and chill out in. That's all I'd like to say.
So
Right.
with that, we'll conclude our ICANN conversation. Thank you, Shashikant sir and Siddharth sir. It was wonderful interacting with you and getting your insights on the food and beverage industry. And thanks, Janisha, for moderating this session so well. I'm sure our viewers would have enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Viewers,
Right.
please leave your comments for us and stay tuned for the next ICANN conversation.
Thank you.
We
Hargun.
would
Thank
like
you,
to
Jinisha.
conclude.
Yeah.
We would like to conclude with the ICANN theme song. So just with this amazing session that we had, thank you, Mr. Siddharth and Mr. Shashikant. We would just like to now conclude on a musical note with the ICANN theme song.
मुश्किल है आन पड़ी ये कैसी कठिन घड़ी, सहमी सहमी जिंदगी बिखरी हुई बंदगी, मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली. I can, you can, we can, India can. I can, you can, we can, India can. हम सब मिल जाएं तो, मिलकर हाथ बटाएं तो, टल जाएगी ये घड़ी, झूमेगी फिर से खुशी. आशा टूटे नहीं, हौसला रूठे नहीं, साथ ये छूटे नहीं, मंजिल दूर नहीं. मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली. I can